You need to take a break. And I know it's not the typical advice that you get in this day and age, especially coming from a young man as myself, or even, a young woman that is trying to make it in business or in art. I don't know how to frame this any different than by telling you stories and stuff like that, but it is so essential that you understand how breaks work, that if you don't take this seriously, you're never going to get anywhere. Worse, actually, you're going to go backwards. You're going to make mistakes that you shouldn't be making at the level you're at, simply because you haven't rested as much as you should have. I want to go through three simple parts. Number one, I'm going to talk about limits and why it's so good to know how far you can go even before you start working. Number two, I want to explain how, in the same way that you can't overtrain a bad diet, there is no point in working hard if you don't have a plan. And number three, I want to talk about how dangerous and really useless it is to work extremely hard if you're not prepared to rest afterwards. Working tirelessly towards your goals is good, but you have to do so figuring out your limits first. Let me tell you a little story. It's the story of a dude that thought that working 6 days a week on music for maybe 8 to 10 hours a day, that's when I didn't have a job. And I was super proud that I had discovered my passion. So it wasn't that long ago, you know? And so I just wanted to work on it all the time. And at the time, it didn't really feel like work to me. I just felt like I was doing something I really liked and really enjoyed. And so, there was no harm in just working hard on it. You know what I mean? Fast forward like maybe 3 months after that, and I literally burnt out. I failed all of my exams. My music sounded like garbage. I had to retake my year because I couldn't work on school, but at the same time, I couldn't even work on music, even though that's all I was doing every day. So what happened? When you spend all of your time thinking and working on something without taking a break from it, you don't have enough distance. What happens is you get too attached to the work and to the person you are while making that work. And so in my case, I wasn't able to let go of any of the songs I was making at that time. Now, I don't even remember the songs I was making, but I was so attached to them and they were so important to me because I was so close that I wasn't able to work on them the right way with enough detachment and enough objective listening to the song. You have to accept that sometimes you're going to make ass and you're going to make something that's really bad, but it's okay. It's okay for something to be bad so that the better stuff can flourish. Well, the issue is the more you're focused on that one little thing, which is that one piece, one song, one painting, one picture, one video, the more you're focused on that one thing, the less space you're leaving for the great things that are coming afterwards. And that's a pretty big issue because you're going to be polishing that turd. That's a very famous expression, but you're going to be polishing that turd forever. And then you have all of those amazing, amazing things that are waiting for you down there that can never see the light of day. And that's why it's important to know when, it's time to hang it up. It's time to leave the thing behind. And I think this goes really well with the idea of limits because you have to know when to stop. You have to figure out what you're able to take on for a given time, a given day, a given period of time, even, and then start working accordingly. I've talked about it in the previous video, but I make a calendar of all of my weeks. I sit down, I take 1 hour of my Saturday or my Sunday, and I make events for every single day of the week for myself, Monday to Friday. In the same way that you cannot overwork a bad diet, you cannot work harder. I mean, you can, but there's no point in working harder if you don't have a plan, if you don't know what you're working towards, what you're going to do. And this is something that taking a break is really useful for. You have no idea how many breaks I take personally when I figure out that okay, I'm working really hard towards something, but nothing is working out the way I want it to, for one. And it just feels like I'm missing the point. I don't have a specific goal I want to reach. Then you fall back. It's fine. And it's completely okay to literally just move back and decide, okay, I don't really know what I was doing right now. So I think a better way for me to work well would be to just figure that out first. It's all good. You put your life in a calendar. Simple stuff. It doesn't have to be detailed, but it gives you a guideline on how you're going to spend your time. It's so much easier to be held accountable for what you have to do and to just move in a more confident way when you have a plan. You know, resting helps you come up with a plan. You cannot think of what you're going to do, of what your next moves are going to be, if you're tired all the time. Like, does it not make sense? It makes sense to you, right? You don't need, a lot of people tell you like, oh, you need to get Notion, you need to get all this stuff. It helps. But bro, I write all of these on Google Keeps. This is what I have. I have my intro, and then I have my main points, and then I had notes. Sometimes I write the thumbnails when I want to think about it. Other than that, I know what I'm going to do. I put when I want to record stuff, when I'm going to edit things, as well as when I'm going to create stuff in my calendar to keep your time yours, reclaim. If you don't have something to reclaim your time, you're always going to feel like you're navigating this weird time where you don't really know what your days are going to be made of. And you can definitely do that like weeks in advance. I'd rather do it like every weekend, because that way I also take the time to like reflect on what I did very quickly. I had a notebook, I had a journal where I wrote down like every single day how I felt and blah, blah, blah. I feel like I'm past that, but you can definitely do that if it helps. You can definitely like sit down every morning and reflect on the day, like yesterday. Think about yesterday and think about everything you've accomplished, everything you haven't done, what you would want to do, what you want to do today. And this gives you clarity, and this helps you like appreciate whatever is happening right now way more than what could be happening or what will be happening or what has happened. You feel the way you feel right now. And so whatever you do, whatever you feel like in terms of working hard, etc., make a plan. Please, just make a plan. Like just let's say you want to start a small business. All right, you don't want to start a small business. You want to start a gigantic business, but it's going to start small. You want to start a business. You know that you need to sign up to, get an LLC or whatever it is that they have in America. I'm not in America, by the way. You need to start an LLC. You need to like find donors or like investors. You need to come up with a business plan, blah, blah, blah. You cannot do all of this in a day. You probably cannot do that in a month. It's going to take you a long time. So how do you make that work? You break stuff up in very small steps. All right? Once that's done, once you have the small steps, you put the steps in your calendar, one by one. That's it. That's it. If you manage to break the small stuff in maybe 20 steps, and you can do one step a day, less than a month, your company's ready, up and running. Can you imagine how simple it sounds and how simple it actually is? It doesn't mean it's easy. It's not easy. Everyone knows it's not easy, but it is simple. There's no point working super hard if you don't have a plan. And there's no point trying to come up with a plan if you're exhausted. Rest, then make a plan. And number 3, the last part, without taking the proper time to rest, all of your efforts are useless or even dangerous. They could affect you in ways you could never imagine. I'm going to take like physical health. I am not a doctor. Once again, I have to say that. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a physicist. Physicist. You could go to the gym every single day of the week, 7 days a week, versus that one dude, let's say 3 days a week. If we come back in 6 months, the dude that goes to the gym 7 days a week probably will not have budged. Actually, he might have like injured himself very badly, and I don't think his body would have changed a lot compared to the dude that goes 3 days a week. He's gonna be able to go virtually forever because 3 days a week is not that hard on the body. It's hard in the beginning, but if you keep at it and you're able to sleep properly, your body like it recovers, bro. Your body recovers really well, by the way. You'll be fine. You just have to like rest. Creative stuff is the same. I don't know why creatives think that they can just work all the time and never rest, and because they don't feel sore, it's okay. It's really not. Whatever it is that you're destined to do, you will do, because that is just how the human spirit functions. How many times have you looked at your account and thought, I'm completely fucked. I'm not going to be able to eat until the end of the month, and it's like the 15th. But you make it happen. You make it work. You figure out a way. You will always figure out a way. There is no point breaking yourself down into pieces to reach your goal that you will reach no matter what. Put the pen down. Put the paintbrush down. Open a window. Go outside. Take a walk. Listen to some music. Watch a movie. Play a game. Enjoy who you are as a person outside of your goals, outside of your professional endeavors, outside of everything that drives you like that. Because whatever it is that makes you yourself, it's not defined by who you're going to become. Anyway, I don't want to take too much of your time. This one is already way longer than I expected. I keep yapping, bro. Like, this really is a yap sesh for real. I'm working on the lights, all right? If I have any director of photography in the chat, please give me your advice. I'd be down. I'm going to watch some more YouTube videos and stuff. I'm already working on the color grading, all right? I'm doing my best, so you let me know. But, yeah, man, I'm going to figure this out. I have a big-ass ring light, which really helps. But I feel like I would need, like, something, like I need maybe something to diffuse light coming from here, since I'm filming from that side, so that I can have the that cinematic thingy. Yeah. You already know. Again, I know that this is the kind of videos that I used to watch as a kid, the ones with the jokes and stuff, and they didn't really help me. They made me feel like I was actually proactive in doing something about getting better. It really wasn't doing anything for me. I was just getting distracted. It was entertainment more than it was explanation. And I feel like something like this, where I just talk and add some illustrations, but mostly I just talk to you, is way easier. First of all, for me to make. It's way quicker to edit and to film and all of that. But it's also way easier for you to digest in terms of what I'm saying and what you're getting from this, because you're not getting bombarded by transitions or information, colors and sounds and stuff like that. That's also why I haven't put any music in the last two. But if music is better, please let me know. I don't know how many of you are gonna make it through to the end of this yap sesh, because yeah, they're pretty long. But if you do, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Like I say, I always do this for my like 15 to 16-year-old self. I know that I can never reach him, but I hope I can reach like other people. And I'm not doing this specifically for men or stuff like that. Whether you're a man, you're a woman, you're non-binary, it doesn't really matter. I think those things that we're facing apply to everyone. So yeah, I just want you all to know that there's no limit to what you can do, but you just have to do it in a healthy way. You have to take care of your health. It's the most important thing that you have. There's no other way to say it. It's just the most important thing. Yeah. Leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe, whatever. I'm just yapping.